Callers into LBC have been discussing their divorces. I didn't listen to the whole show, even though it's one of my favourite topics, but no doubt there were all the usual reasons for marital breakdown: cheating, finances, boredom, etc. Then one man called in, citing a pretty unusual cause for the collapse of his marriage.
David in Northwich, a political element broke your marriage up, David. Is that right?
Oh, yeah, that's right. And thanks for taking me call, yeah.
What happened?
She made a fool of me for all of our married life, really.
Go on.
Because I've always been compassionate and caring about people. And I thought she was the same. And it transpired after a big row we had over refugees and Rwanda and stuff that she said she's always voted Conservative. And it's disgusting, really, isn't it?
Well, no, it's not disgusting to vote Conservative.
Come on.
Well, hang on. No, David, it isn't. It isn't. No,
well, it is really, isn't it?
Well, not always. No, not always. Because is it a specific element of Conservative policy currently that she was favouring that made things difficult, or was it just generally?
Well, if you look what's happened since 2010, all through austerity, which killed hundreds of thousands of people, and then everything that's happened in between, and all this time when I thought she was like me, who cares about people, then she doesn't really care about anybody but herself, maybe. And it was like it was disgusting. It's disgusting.
And
it?
Had she told you she was voting what? Do you vote Labour?
I've always voted Labour, yeah.
And did she tell you she voted Labour?
She never actually come right out and said, but we'd stood in the polling booth together and we voted together. I always assumed she voted Labour.
I'm sorry. I'm apologies for laughing. I'm not laughing at you, I promise, David. I'm just seeing this image of two people in the polling booth, and you just assume she was voting the same as you. But, I mean, she's allowed to vote any way she wants. You might not agree with it, but is it a reason to leave, to end your marriage?
But don't you think that's disgusting? Voting Conservative all these years. And she's pretending she's compassionate and she cares about people and this and blah, blah, blah. And everything she's always said is if she's a compassionate, caring people when she isn't.
Now, I never know with those things when someone sort of phones in with a particularly neat story. It's a very good story to make a political point. Whether or not it's a prank could be true. I don't know. I suppose on the broader point, Kim, would you get a divorce if you discovered that you'd been sleeping with the enemy?
So I'm obsessed with this story and this caller. I'm going to assume it's not a prank, but if I found out that I had been married to someone who had been voting Conservative, it would depend if it had been hidden from me. I'm quite upfront about my values and my politics, and I'm someone who has it on their Hinge profile, so everyone who's reading it kind of knows what I'm about. So I think I'd find it very surprising if I ended up married to someone and secretly they were a Conservative and had been voting Conservative. But to then want to divorce them, I think I'd need to know why they had voted Conservative and on what grounds. And if it had anything to do with immigration, anything to do with refugees, anything to do with race and racism. Well, I'm actually just going through loads of different policy areas now. So actually, I think we can conclude that I probably would get the divorce.